what do you call it? Like a return to what you've done before?
Welcome to Leon's Garage Adventures. We're here today with Andrew's new truck, Escalade. Anyways, we're here, and you're there watching us over here. This thing's pretty clean. He only got it for 300 bucks. Can you believe that? Because he shouldn't. It was 8. Haha.
Well, that about covers the intro. So, as Leon just mentioned, yes, we did get this for $800. And I'm sure you're wondering, no, you didn't. Like, there's no way you got this whole Escalade for $800. We did, and here's the reason why. So, Leon initially told me about this car, and he said, I know where we can potentially get an Escalade for like $1,200. I said, so why aren't you jumping on it? And after annoying the crap out of him for about a week solid, he finally said, you know what? Here's a number, you can deal with it. Okay.
Because I got that, 4 other ones, that, this, and the work truck. Oh wait, and the Fiero.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I got too much junk.
Story time. This should be where I excel, but I take way too long. Set up a time to go look at it. Leon and I went down to go check it out, and we thought like, wow, this thing is rough. First thing we spotted, this. Let's go ahead and take a peek on the inside. So the window's missing, obviously. Okay, well it's not all missing. We still got some down here.
Well, let's glue this back together.
Right here is where the bullet came in. So the bullet came in, got stuck, fell down inside the trim, and then when the officer couldn't find the bullet, he slammed the trunk shut, and it just blew all the glass out. So tiny little hole makes a big hole. So the first time we went to go look at it, we were there looking over everything. We saw the glass missing, and I was like, oh no. Like,
this front tire was sunk into the ground like 6 inches.
It was up to the rim, at least.
Yeah, and it looked flat. We thought it was a flat tire, so we were like, wow, this thing really has been sitting here for a long time.
So he never showed up. After about 20 minutes, we just dipped out. We went and grabbed some sushi to eat, and then I got a phone call from him. This is the first time he's actually called me. Otherwise, it's all been through text. He goes, hey, I'm real sorry. Like, is there any way we can work something out? I apologize. I was at work, blah, blah, blah. I was like, look, man, I just want the motor for another project. I'll give you 800 bucks for it. Okay. Wait, what? He's like, yeah, I'll take the 800 bucks, but I'm pulling my DVD player out. It's like, no, then I'll give you $700 for it. Like, I don't know which one he's talking about, so I said, fine. I'll just pay the 800 bucks if you have to have that. I'm coming to get it on Sunday, so have it out by then. Fast forward 2 more days after we picked up, it was 1 day after we picked up the S10. We went down, looked it over, he hooked up the jump pack to it. He's like, why'd you bring a trailer? You know you can drive this thing home, right? And we're like, there's no way this thing runs and drives the way it's supposed to, looking at all the things wrong with it. So he hooks up the jump pack, nothing. It's like, yep, here we go. Typical tactics so that, oh, well, I assure you it runs and blah, blah, blah. So we leave the battery charger on it for a little bit, and he goes, oh, well, I didn't actually pull the DVD player out. You know, this is a $500 unit. I was like, I don't care what you do with it, man. Like, I just want the motor. He goes, it's a nice truck. Like, it's a good car. While it's on charge, he says to us, there's a lot of electrical problems. Like, something is very wrong with this thing. We put in the head unit, and then all of a sudden, nothing was working right anymore. And I'm just thinking, okay, so it's got to be related to the head unit. So then he said his nephew tried to replace the alternator, so it's got a brand new alternator. He put in a brand new battery, and then he gets in, he goes, see, I told you it runs. So up here, we've got a beautiful LQ9 that's got roughly 200,000 miles on it. Super quiet. He said it had been sitting
very good.
He said it had been sitting for 5 months before we tried to start it up. It's like, that's the quietest LS I've ever heard.
Yeah, there was no ticking, no nothing. Just fired up and was as smooth as this.
Maybe go in the back and I'll rev it.
Ooh, a little revy rev. This thing actually runs pretty good. Like, we took it down for a little spin.
Oh, we're gonna take him for a little spin.
Let's go.
Let's go.
All right.
Get in the truck. So we go to load the car up, and there are no gauges, nothing is working. Power folding mirrors won't work, and he's like, I assure you they work. None of the windows work, no electronics basically other than what it takes to start the engine and drive it. So I load it up on the trailer, we get it back, park it, we start going over, and it's like, you know what? This might be one of the best deals we've ever gotten. So we took it for a quick test drive, and when I nailed it, it must have moved the radio slightly forward, because all of a sudden I had some of the gauge cluster working. The odometer started to read how many miles it actually had versus what he told me it had. And then I noticed that some of the switches started to come on. It's like, wow, I bet you there's a problem with the head unit. Most likely it's got a botched wiring harness back there. So we figured out that there must be some kind of loose wires back there that were either grounding out or doing something wrong, making everything else not work. Fast forward about an hour later, another friend showed up and we took it out and beat the crap out of it. Now everything works.
Yeah.
So we've got power folding mirrors, we got working windows, moonroof, we've got a DVD player in the back, DVD player up front. And it's like, oh no, this thing's actually pretty nice. Now what?
Yeah, then all of a sudden you were like, let's just drive this thing.
Yeah.
No, Andrew, we're pulling the motor out.
So we thought that he put this protector on because it was going to be all destroyed. It's perfect underneath.
All of it's really nice, yeah.
Like, overall, this is the best, most appreciated, fastest thing I've ever bought. It's insane. We're going to give it the beans in a little bit once this thing gets out of our way.
The old side-by-side.
And for some reason we've gained gasoline since we started it, so that might not be perfect. But the AC's cold.
It is.
Like, we were looking around and it's not cracked or damaged like you would expect from something of this era. I mean, they don't really hold up that well.
It does good for all stock.
Yeah, he didn't say if anything had been rebuilt or anything, so if this thing's actually got 219,000 miles on it, it's doing pretty good.
If I could do 2 little pulls. Let me back out a little bit. We're ready.
Brakes are a little wobbly. Also, there's a fair amount of glass rolling around in the back. So the traction control is permanently off right now. It wasn't when we got it. Whatever. So we're gonna go ahead and do another rip so you can see what the acceleration's like in a stock shorty Escalade. Oh. Yeah.
That first little initial hit, I'm looking at the gauge cluster and I'm like, up at the screwed up. I couldn't hold it. Yeah, not bad. I mean,
yeah, this thing gets down for the size.
I think these are what, 340 or 50 or something?
I think it's 345 horsepower and 380 foot-pounds of torque.
Yeah, that's awesome for what it is.
And all-wheel drive.
Oh
so
wait, I forgot it was the LQ9 instead of a 4. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the right thing to do would probably be to relist this thing as a running, driving car and make a whole bunch of money on it. But what's actually going to happen is we're going to pull the motor, put it into a future project, which you will see soon enough, and basically part this thing out. So hopefully there's a whole bunch of extra profit left in it. Sorry, tree.
Oh.
I'd rather hit that tree than the Bel Air.
Yeah, I'd rather you hit that too.
So, I don't think there's a whole lot left to say about this thing. I know you guys aren't going to believe that it was such a good deal, but it just happens. I have a pretty good luck for these types of things.
The only better deal than this is this. The bus.
And if you guys want to see that, I'm going to go ahead and put a link in the description below.
Thanks, buddy.
So you can go ahead and check out Leon's, well, not your latest project, but one of many. So,
And we actually got it months ago, and we're planning on turning it into an RV, but so many other projects is slowing us down on it.
yeah, we have too many side quests right now.
We haven't filmed any of it, so I guess you guys should expect some videos on everything, because might as well, right? If you want to see.
Yep. Yeah, we'll post a link to Leon's channel, because obviously we work with him, he works with us. It's a mutual dependency. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's kind of a shame to part it out, but also I bought it for the motor. That's what I want. I'll make a little bit of money parting it out, and we'll move it on. The universe provides.
Basically, as long as we get the motor for free after parting it out, we're good to go.
Yep.
That's the end goal.
All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next episode.